Hello, on this beautiful Wednesday evening. My name is Cheryl the Pearl, and my channel is Cheryl the Pearl 1247, and I have a story to tell. Every Wednesday, I like to come and tell stories. All these stories are true, they happened during my lifetime, some recently, some way back when. So today, my story is about cars, discernment, and wisdom. Now, when I was I think I may have been 8, and I had two brothers, Russell and Eric. Russell was the oldest, and Eric was the youngest. We lived in a small town, and uh, my brothers they were fascinated by cars. I was never fascinated by cars. So I used to hear them say, "We gonna sneak the car," but I would never go with them. I never seen them sneak it. So when they snuck it, I must have been asleep or I must have been late at night. But I wasn't one to tell. They were never gonna say I was the one telling, because they always would say I was so spoiled and that I always got my way. So I said I'm not getting involved with y'all. Want to sneak the car? Y'all sneak the car. That's on y'all. So this one day they happened to say we're gonna get the car. It was in the daytime. They said, "Sure, you want to go with us? We're gonna go joyride around the block. We'll be right back." I was like, "No, I don't think I better go." Well, they said, "Mom and Daddy, they knocked out. They tired from working." So they went outside. They got in the car. They left. About maybe 30 minutes later, this minister from our church comes knocking on the door, and Russell and Eric is with him. And I see our car outside. So he said, "Is your mom here?" I said, "She sleep." He said, "Can you wake her?" So I went and got her. He said, I seen Russell and Eric uh out there on the next street over. He said Eric was outside telling cars to go around. Now Eric's the youngest one. He said, "I thought maybe you were in the car broke down." He said, "But when I got to the driver's door, it was Russell." He said Russell then had a look on his face. He didn't know what to do. He said, "Boy, get out this car." He said that's how he said. He said, "Boy, get out this car." So what had happened? Something happened with the car, and Russell couldn't get it started back up. So he told Eric, "Go outside and tell everybody to go around." But then the man came by. Just so happened the man came by from our church, and he started the car. He brought the car home, and my mom and dad took him back up there to get his car. So, but I remember they got in trouble. I can't. I think they did get a whooping back then, because people believe in whooping kids back then. But they really got in trouble. I'm so glad I didn't go. That was one time I used discernment and wisdom. I don't know why they used to take that car, but I think that was the last time they took that blue and white Falcon. And another time, my brother Eric, we were the youngest. I remember we were sitting in the car, playing in the car. My mama told us to come in the house. We had just came from the store. So Eric pulled the thing down to drive. I would pull the lever back up the park. So finally, the last time Eric pulled the thing down to drive, the car hit the house. Boom! My mom and my aunt and them come running out the house. Eric said she did it, but I couldn't explain. I was trying to explain, no, he did it because I was putting the lever up. I was putting the lever up. I got in trouble. But still to the day, if Eric was still there, we used to argue that all the time. I used to say, "Eric, you know you the one that made that car run into the house." He said, "No, you did it," but I know I didn't. But later on, in life, uh, I was looking for a car, and my car had just got totaled. I had a Saturn. It just got totaled, and the insurance people had paid me off. My car got totaled. I hit somebody, but it was their fault. They came out in front of me. And my car got totaled, so they paid me for my car. And I was looking for a car. I wanted to get a cash car because that Saturn that I had, it was a very good car. When I bought the car from the people, I bought it for cash. I took it to the to get the oil change, and they said ain't nothing wrong with this car. Only thing you need to do is rotate the tire. Wherever you got this car, you got a good deal. Because I was telling the man I bought the car way out in the country. So I was happy about my car, but I only had that car like for 3 or 4 months, and that's when it got totaled. So we usually don't get lucky like that, because the car before I had bought that Saturn, I bought it for the man from this man in town. Ooh, the car was so clean, the inside, the outside, but that car was the car from you know where. Every week I was spending money getting the car repaired. I might as well have a car note. I spent so much on that car. So one day I was just coming home from work and it just started going slow. I think I was going 60. The car started going to 20 and then 10, kept cutting off. It was white smoke everywhere. I think that man just patched up the motor and sold me the car. He knew that car wasn't no good when he sold it to me. So this time when I went looking for the car after the Saturn that was so good, the Saturn was very good and it got totaled. Them people really took care of that car. And I was so upset when they told me my car was totaled because that was a very good car. So the next thing happened. One day I had one of my friends take me to look for my car, me and my kids. So my kids were like tired of going without a car. We was getting on the bus and catching a ride with people. My kids really wanted me to have my own car again, but I was being very cautious and using wisdom. So we had went to look at another Saturn because since I had the Saturn, I had fell in love with the Saturn. So I wanted another one. So I found one. The man had a decent price on it. So I went to look at the car, and the car on the outside, it looked very good. The inside too. But when I start driving the car, it smelled like something was burning. So when I brought the car back, I told the man, I said, smell like something burning. He said, that's just oil burning on the motor. And I'm like, well, it shouldn't smell like that. He said, I just changed oil, but I'm like, something ain't right, shouldn't smell like that. But my kids and the lady was with me, get the car. Nothing's wrong with the car. Get the car. Get the car. And I'm like, I guess I'll get it. So I told the man, I'm going to run to the bank. The bank was probably 20 minutes away from where we was at. It was right at 1:30 when it was right at 12:30 when I went to go to the bank. The bank closed at 1. So it was a little traffic. But as soon as I got to the bank, the people were walking at the door, locking up the bank. I said, God, are you trying to tell me something? So when I got home tonight, the man was so eager for me to get the car. He called. He said, you think you're going to get the car on Monday? I said, yeah, because I had told him, I called him, told him I would come get the car on Monday. I would get off of work early, go to the bank on Monday and come back and get the car. So he called me um, Saturday night again. Are you sure you're going to get the car? Because a lot of people want the car. And I had told him, if you find somebody who want the car, get the car because it's first come, first serve. And I felt kind of uneasy about this smell I smelled. So Sunday came, he called again. I said, yeah, I will be there after I go to work, go to the bank, get the money, and I'll come to get the car. But that Sunday night, my spirit wouldn't let me rest. I was like, half of me was saying get the car, and half of me wasn't. So the next day I went to work and I was talking to my coworker about the car. She said, if you aren't that uneasy about that car, don't get that car. And she was like, what is that? What was that smell? I said, I don't know. But I said, it's so unfair. My kids, we had to keep getting rides to be on the bus and they really want a car. I want a car too. She said, well, you know what went on with that car you had got before you got the Saturn, it was a bad car. You put so much money in that car. She said, don't do that. So I had called the man and I said, well, I changed my mind about that car. You know that man cussed me out. He was mad. He said, I could have sold it. You had me holding the car. No, if somebody would have came and got that car, money talks. It's first come, first serve. You weren't saving that car for me. You was too anxious to get rid of that car. So the following week, my children's grandma, who all say that she's a mom to me, she calls me. She said, I'm going to take you to look for a car. She said, we're going to go to some dealerships. Maybe you can get a less expensive car. So we went to some dealerships. Everything was high. I didn't want a high car note. So she asked the man, she said, do y'all have anything, nice cars that somebody traded in for a brand new car that have low miles? So he showed me 2 cars. I really liked it. This one car. It had a sunroof and everything. It was nice. It was a Hyundai. I test drove it. The air worked, the heat worked, the radio, everything worked in it. I think the people just traded in the car because they wanted a newer car. I got a good deal on the car. The financing was good. Everything was good. I think I had a 3-year note. I paid it off a little bit before the 3-year note. I kept that car for a pretty good long time. It didn't give me a lot of problems. So sometimes you have to use discernment. Now I sat back and thought, what if I would have got that Saturn if something was wrong with that Saturn. There would have been more money out. But sometimes you got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to, you just got to listen to what's in your heart and what's on your mind. If some tell you don't do it, don't do it. When I sat there and was going back and forth at my desk that morning, should I get this car? Should I go to the make? That was probably God telling me you don't need that car because you want it for sure. Because when I went to the dealership and drive that car that somebody traded in, I was like, yeah, I want this car. This is a good car. This is a nice car. It was low miles, and they even gave me a small warranty. But that man that I was gonna buy the car, the other Saturn from, he wasn't giving me any kind of warranty. So that's my stories on today about car discernment and wisdom. I hope you enjoy my story time today. This is Cheryl from Cheryl the Pearls World, and I'll see you next week on Story Time. Have an amazing, blessed evening. Bye bye.